Good morning. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Deborah, and this is Purusha Intuitive. And we're going to be looking at the energy of the new moon. Yeah, new moon, new intentions. It's a great time to kind of really think about and focus on what we're working to bring in, what we're working to change, etc. We're still doing a little bit of cleanup from last year. I hope it's going well for you. I hope you're not coming into too much hubbub. It's interesting how life plays out for sure. But for those places that we're feeling blocked or down and out, etc., we're gonna do a little clearing of the energy. Feel free to be open to receive or skip ahead. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is blocking the highest and best messages for the collective. Honor our heart, our mind, our soul. Help me to be a clear and open vessel. Amen. All right, so it is Thursday. So Thursday, January 11th is the new moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is a really great energy because it gives us endurance, stability, strength. It really helps us overcome any obstacles or blocks that are in the way. And as I was talking about in the very beginning, we're still kind of cleaning up some of that stuff. The energy has been a little back and forth. I like the new moon energy though. There's a lot of positive, harmonious aspects that are really helping push us forward to make those changes that we need to. It's a time to step out of the box, especially with how it's aspected to Uranus. Uranus rules Aquarian energy, so it is a very expansive, hopeful, innovative energy. It is about fighting for the little person, whether that's yourself, whether that's an idea, a belief, or something you really want to see bring into this world. It's a great time to do it. And as I said, new moons are all about setting intention. So we can kind of take some inventory around what's working, what's not. Where do we need to switch it up a little bit? And what are we wishing for, right? Like, what are we excited about? What are we hopeful for? What do we want to see come in to our life to bring us happiness, to make us feel fulfilled, or, that we have a purpose? That's always nice, right? And we all do. I laugh about it, but it's true. Like, we all have our dharma, and it is so important to uncover what that is. It doesn't have to be changing the world, right? Like, we can change people, places, and things, even in our environment, by our example, by who we are and how we show up, etc. Jupiter rules Thursday, and it is a really expansive, abundant planet. We have a lot, not as much in Sagittarius anymore, but Mercury and Venus are in Sagittarius. So it's a really great time, like I said, to just explore the things that we love, that we're interested in, that we're passionate about. And that Uranian, Mars energy, even with Jupiter and Saturn, it's really going to help give us that momentum forward. But we have to take a chance, right? Like, I think right now what's happening collectively is there is a reshuffling. It's people who are doing the work, who are being authentic, who are aligning with themselves versus those that are not, and it's not like a war or a battle. Some people look at it that way. It's up to you. I don't really like to do they're bad, I'm good, I'm bad, they're good. I don't like that vibe because I think it really does disempower us. Like I said, we all have a place, we all have a purpose. Even some of the more low vibey energies that we come into contact with, we don't have to be afraid of those things. Change is happening, and regardless of whether we want it to or not, and we don't want to get left behind is what I'm hearing. It's not easy. A lot of this stuff is uncomfortable, so be gentle with yourself. I'm starting out with the feeling oracle. yeah, having gratitude for what you've come through. To me, this is a lot about gratitude, not only for the good things, but also for the challenging things. Really affirm to yourself what you've overcome, how strong you've been through the process, how hard it was, and give yourself that pat on the back, give yourself that validation. It's not easy to do for ourselves, right? We're always kind of scrutinizing or looking for better ways, easier ways to get through stuff. And sometimes life is just difficult, right? Sometimes we come into things that we can't control. And the best way that we can navigate through, is like connecting with our happiness and our peace. It's really hard. It's really, really, really hard. I can attest to this. I had a really difficult year and last year, and it was very interesting to me how many people will kick you when you're down. And these are good people, or they're spiritual, or they're, whatever on this path, whatever they say. And I was reminded last night of just, just how tragic it is in a lot of ways. That's the word I want to say, because it's really disheartening when people can't just, rise above, be better, actually practice the words that they preach. And that is where we have to have courage. We have to have courage to set ourselves apart, to choose authenticity, and actually follow through with it. That is more courageous. That takes more courage than going to the low vibey, the gossiping, the naysaying, bringing people down, trying to make your ego feel better. And that's all it is, right? It's only ego gratifying, meaning that it feels good for a moment, but then after you gossip, after you have that conversation, after you tell someone how much you don't like them or whatever, how horrible they're messing up, in 5-10 minutes, it might feel good in the moment, but then after the fact, it always kind of just is not as gratifying because it's very ego-based. So this is a lot about just being thankful for what you've come through, being thankful that you're not involved with those people or situations anymore, or that you're moving away, that you're proactively trying to honor your heart, your mind, your soul. So we might need to get a little movement in for us today with this workout. Is that what it is? Oh, worn out. Saying I'm worn out now. I feel a little worn out, and even like the bags under the eyes, I feel like that's how I always look. Haha. Anyway, take care of yourself, right? Like really just spend time loving, honoring, nurturing yourself. We need that. That is our fuel, and it actually helps us to tap into that Capricorn energy, which is so strong, disciplined, diligent, etc. We can't help it if like people take us for granted. Like I think the bottom line is we can't control people, places, and things. I feel like there's been places that you've been taken for granted, that you haven't been seen clearly, or that people want to make you seem worse than what you actually are. There's a lot of like falsity, untruth, illusion traveling around right now, so be really conscious of that as well. Mercury is still square to Neptune, so it gives us conversations, communication can be a little bit difficult right now. It's also that value of really tuning in, especially when someone is showing those signs, red flags, you're not really trusting everything that they're saying, etc. To me, this is a lot about holding yourself in a higher regard, being above reproach. I think that came out yesterday. One of these days. Oops, that was 2. Oh, let's pull them both up. Okay, so Ace of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. Such a beautiful, powerful energy to start off with. This really confirms that need to like invest in yourself and not be afraid of new beginnings. For some of you, this is love coming in. Ace of Cups is always that gift of love. It's so beautiful, sweet. It's also new potential and new beginnings, especially around things that we love, that we connect with, that we want to see grow in our life into something really beautiful. Queen of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. She's super vibrant and beautiful, magnetic. She draws people to her, incredibly creative. I love the way she's displayed on this card too, because it's a lot of just happiness, and you know, she's got it, right? She has it handled. And this is what we want to be connecting with today. We want to remember that what we've overcome, it's given us that strength. We're pushing forward in a beautiful way, in a way that is heart honoring. So continue on that vibe and let your light shine. I do feel like this has been a theme. Yeah, Three of Cups. There are people that do have their eyes on you. So be really conscious of that. This is some people we like, some people we don't like, some people we wish wouldn't be looking at us, right? There is this energy of focus on community for you today. So really being conscious of who you're allowing into your inner circle. Who is your community? Who are you keeping around you? Making sure that it is people who are supporting and honoring who you are as an individual. 1111 is on the clock, really speaking to our self-empowerment, especially with that Empress energy. Regardless of what gender you are, the Empress is about our abundance. It's when we know how to, make wealth out of the smallest thing possible or the biggest thing possible. She's incredibly abundant, right? And she is that value of nurture, of care, of support, especially for our heart, our mind, our soul. She's ruled by Libra and Taurus, which is Venus energy. So there's a lot of emphasis on love for yourself, love for your environment, finding where your happiness is. And I feel like for you, this is about making that conscious choice, right? We can't control everything that's going on in our environment, but we can control ourselves, how we show up, who we spend time with, who we're willing to give, that intimate part of ourselves to. And not not sex, but just, intimacy, vulnerability, connecting on a deeper level in our relationships. We need to find a way to be happy. With this Ten of Cups, it's being blocked. So there's something right now where it's either we're staying too much in the past, or when we run into those people, situations that trigger us or remind us of the pain that we have felt. This is really saying, find ways to move through it, grieve, yes, but also reconnect with that happiness. Don't get too sucked in the past, in what has happened, in who and what did you wrong. Excuse me. Anytime we do that, we're essentially staying connected to that situation, to that person, and also to that energy. I think that whatever happened, whatever you went through, it was needed for your soul growth and evolution. That message has been coming through as well. So don't knock it, is what I'm hearing, right? I don't know. I feel this heavy sense, the energy has been a little emotional and heavy lately, hence why I was using the your feelings are valid oracle, because it is true, right? When we are worn out, when we are beaten down, when we feel depressed or we have a lot of anxiety or fear, we really need to tap into that self-love, self-care, making sure that you have a routine where you're taking care of yourself first. That is, again, the way that we build support towards ourselves. And I think also just recognizing how beautiful you are, what has been birthed out of the challenge, out of the difficulty, that you are working towards something, even when we're not seeing the fruits of our labor quite yet. Remember, new moons are about setting our intention. It's not specifically the time that manifestation comes in or our goals, etc. We're headed there. And like we've been talking about lately, there's a lot of positive movement towards that. We're getting an extra assurance with the Capricorn energy. We're also, Pluto's moving into Aquarius. It's going back into Aquarius at the end of the month. So that is more when we're going to see things start to manifest. we have a full moon in Leo at the end of the month. And Leo is that fire, Queen of Wands energy, right? Where we are on front stage. We're front and center, right? There is a reason people are watching you, looking at you. They want to see what you're going to do. They want to see how successful you're going to become and how everything will unfold. And honestly, you don't see that, right? If anything, like I said, we might be lingering in the past a little bit too much. We might be feeling like this is never going to change, this is never going to get better, etc. And in reality, Spirit's saying it is. Like, this is the path. This is what you're supposed to be doing right now, right? This is where you're supposed to be. And there's so much beauty that has come out of it, whether we can see it right now or not, you know. Eventually we will, right? Hindsight 2020, that whole vibe. It's keeping the faith. And honestly, this is really good energy for us today. Like I was saying with that new moon, we're getting that confirmation that the hard work is paying off. Ooh, love, yay. So this is new partnership coming in. Like I talked about, for some of you, it's new love. This is also business, friend, community, especially because we have community on the mind. We really want to, like I said, invest into people, places that are going to be more supportive and heart honoring. And that's exactly what this lover's energy brings. It's Gemini energy. It's bringing in the complete opposite, right? Gemini is about duality. So it's like what we were in before, it's actually, we've overcome, we've learned our lessons, we're moving through, we're becoming stronger, better, more on point. So what Spirit is going to bring to you for that is kind of the opposite of what you've been dealing with in the past. We're still, the death card has been coming up so much in terms of death and rebirth. It is proverbial, just so you know. It's not necessarily, you know, saying anything negative. I don't know. I think YouTube, yeah, I don't know, whatever. I'm going to get off on a irrelevant tangent. So that's been coming up for us a lot. It's about that death and rebirth, the rising again, the phoenix rising from the ashes. And especially if you moved through something that was really, really just painful, recognizing that change is happening. It is change. And again, unfortunately, sometimes, well, actually all the time, really the hardest stuff that we move through is usually what makes us a stronger, better, more aware individual. And it also helps us to align a lot better with our path and where we're headed. And I love it because I think a lot of this is saying, like, find your joy, find your happiness, find your gratitude, take care of yourself in the process. What you have coming in, this community, this new partnership, it's really beautiful. I love it. It's super heart honoring. I'm getting confirmation as I'm saying this. It's gonna be way better than what the past would have ever given you. So hold the faith. Recognize that, you know, it's a new moon. So it might not happen today or tomorrow. Chiron is really asking us to continue on our healing path, continue to do the work. It is the wound healer. It bridges the gap between our physical life and our spiritual life. And so when we connect with that deeper essence, again, that is when we find authentic alignment. That is our eternal self, eternal being, our Atma. Ooh, Gemini, there we go. You could, this partnership that is coming in, it could be a Gemini. This is also saying, like, you know, get out of your box, right? Don't keep, explore new territories, new people, places, and things, new partnership coming in. Things, again, that are a little bit more heart honoring or, you know, more your vibe, right? Like, don't just engage in relationships because that's what you've done, especially if they're not Yeah, there we go, that Capricorn energy, especially if they're not really high vibey people or people that are on your vibrational plane. I don't know how you want to say that. You know, if it doesn't fit, it's just not meant for you, and try not to get too attached to that. Like I said, with that Capricorn energy, oh, I love this, especially how this deck talks about it. It's the boss, right? Be that boss energy. Rise up and be a badass version of yourself, and don't be afraid, especially with the people who do talk shit or put you down, etc. Like, that is the past, right? It's going away. I don't feel like you have to deal with these people too much moving forward. It's just the residual, right? That's exactly how we started this reading, the cleanup, the 10th house. So there's a lot of focus on the 10th house is, yes, career, success, our achievements. It's also kind of how we show up in our community, in our environment, around, you know, what our reputation is. And this is what we're chipping away at. We're finding ways to be more empowered, to be more expansive, to listen to our intuition and not be afraid of that, right? Not be afraid of what people think, because they're not living our life, right? So, like I said, I think it's a great day to find gratitude. It's a great day to put yourself out there a little bit more, maybe do something that you wouldn't normally, you know, kind of change up the energy a little bit, sign up for a class, you know, just do what you need to do to really support your heart, your mind, and your soul. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear how it plays out in your life. And yeah, I hope you have a fabulous new moon. All right, thank you for tuning in. All the love, support, I appreciate you. I'm sending love and blessings your way.